Understanding Elevation Models, DSM, DTM, and DEM. If you've ever worked with elevation data, you've probably seen the terms DSM, DTM, and DEM thrown around, sometimes even used interchangeably. But they're not the same thing. And if you use the wrong one for your project, you could end up with the wrong results. So let's break them down. What are DSM, DTM, and DEM, and how are they different? Let's start with the big picture. All three, DSM, DTM, and DEM, are types of elevation models. They tell us what the surface of the Earth looks like in terms of height, but each one captures a different version of reality. Let's clear this up once and for all. Let's start with the DSM, Digital Surface Model. Picture yourself flying a drone over a city. The camera sees rooftops, treetops, towers, everything sticking up from the ground. That's what a DSM captures. The top of the surface, not just the land. So if you're doing urban planning, line-of-sight analysis, or calculating solar potential for buildings, DSM is your best friend. It gives you a real-world view, buildings and all. But what if you're a hydrologist or a civil engineer trying to model how water flows across the landscape? A DSM isn't ideal. It includes buildings and trees. That's where the DTM, Digital Terrain Model. It represents the bare earth, the natural ground surface, with all buildings and vegetation removed. It's essentially a filtered version of a DSM, where man-made and natural surface features have been taken out. This is crucial for flood mapping, erosion studies, infrastructure design, and terrain slope analysis. But here's the challenge. Creating a DTM usually requires a lot more processing, especially in forests or cities. Now let's talk about the most misunderstood of the three, the DEM, Digital Elevation Model. Here's the thing. DEM isn't a third type of model. It's a general term, a label. A DEM simply means a model of elevation, but the catch is, it doesn't tell you what is included. In some datasets, a DEM is bare earth just like a DTM. In others, it includes trees and buildings, making it more like a DSM. So when someone gives you a DEM file, don't assume anything. Check the metadata, because that one word DEM could mean very different things depending on who made it. So let's recap. In simple language, DSM shows the world as it is. Ground, trees, buildings, everything. DTM strips it all down to just the natural land surface. DEM. It's a mystery until proven otherwise. A file that could be DSM or DTM depending on the source. Knowing the source helps, but knowing the type is what really keeps your analysis accurate. So the next time you're downloading elevation data, don't just ask, "Can I get a DEM for this area?" Instead ask, "Am I looking at the surface or the terrain? And does my data reflect that?" Because in remote sensing, it's not just about having elevation data. It's about knowing what that elevation represents.